Do you feel like every sport, including individual sports, have you realised that they're actually a team sport? That was something that was, I guess, an insight I learnt from with reading the mindset. Yes, the individual might be the, I suppose, executor of the action, you know, the sprinter or, you know, the track runner or whatever you want to call it, the swimmer. But when you actually like look at how they've become where they're at, there's a coach, there's potential, you know, nutritionists, there's dietitians, there's doctors, there's, you know, there's a suite of people that support that person in order to get them to be as good as they are, if that makes sense. But when it comes to setting records or what have you, it's just that one person's name. And yet when we actually look at it, there is a whole team. There is a whole team of people behind the scenes that have contributed and developed and helped that individual to become great in that area. And it got me to thinking about, again, bringing into companies and going, you know, yes, we're a company that's full of a lot of individuals. And as a leader, we are almost to be the coach. And well, this is how I view my team anyway, is I have my individuals who are like a football team or soccer team, whatever you want to call it. Each of them have skills, each of them have weaknesses, each of them have all those factors. And my role is to work out when I need to input them as their strength, look for opportunities where I can help them to change their weakness and grow their weakness to become a strength, and help them in order to achieve what they're wanting, bigger picture. So if you're a goalie, for instance, it's on a football or a soccer team or any of those sorts of teams, there's no climbing a hierarchy or anything. It's just not like one player is better than another or like one position's better than another. And yet we often in the workplace don't see ourselves in that same team-like aspect. We go, oh yeah, the seniors. And really all that happens is if you're the captain on that team, for instance, you've got more responsibility because you're the on field, or you know, that person who's got to make decisions on behalf of the team as the executor for your coach. So it's more responsibility. It's not necessarily a better position or a worthier role, or you know, and that worthiness and whatnot is coming back to more of a fixed mindset. Yet if we're looking in a growth mindset, if you're, say, let's go the goalie, are you the best goalie? Are you the best goalie you can be? Are you performing at the best you can be? Or are you letting too many goals through? Are you, not setting up things properly? Are you, could there be improvements? And this is where, again, a lot of people fear feedback. And yet some of the best stuff you can go up to is the most critical person. So in this instance, the goalie going to the ref and to your coach and saying, where do I need to improve? And then committing to practicing and practicing and practicing and practicing. And when you look at your Michael Jordans, when you look at some of those elite athletes, they practice. They're devoted and committed to becoming their best. And I don't think we need to necessarily have a modeled, I want to be like Bill Gates, or I want to be like, I don't think we need to necessarily have somebody we are chasing. But I've heard that there is a great idea to put your role model or your desired person you wanted to be like, you in 10 years. What do you look like in 10 years' time? What are your outputs like in 10 years' time? What are your achievements in 10 years' time? And then work back from that and then go, so right now I need to be doing this, and I need to be doing that, and I need to be going here and going there, I need to be talking to those people, mapping it out. And I've talked about this numerous times about, if you don't have it mapped out, then you're really just hoping to wing it, and that's never going to achieve you your outcomes, and it's never going to also achieve you finding, I guess, shortcuts as such to achieve that same outcome. Once you map something, you can go, hey, I actually, instead of me having to do that, I might be actually able to bring this back to 7 years or 5 years even. Because if I'm doing this and I'm doing that and I'm already tracking my progress, in 2 years I've already come a lot further than I'd planned to originally come, and I think I could probably achieve that in 5 years. And that's where, if you're chasing your 10-year self, that's going to pay you much better dividends. So working out, in order for you to be who you want to be in 10 years time, what does that even look like? Map that down first, and then draw it back from there, and kind of break down the pieces. And in my 6-minute diary, I saw the other day one of the best quotes that really rang true for me. It's from Henry Ford, and it says, "Nothing is particularly hard if you divide it into small jobs." And that, to me, is so very true. Quite often, if you go, let's build a house, and you go, oh gee, that's huge, that house is massive. But then you actually break it down and you go, okay, let's just start, let's pour a slab of concrete as the foundation. You get that done. And then you go, okay, let's just start by laying some bricks and doing, a few courses at a time. And once you start breaking it down, you go, well, really, like one brick, lifting that one brick wasn't much. So I can lift 5 bricks, I can lift 10 bricks, I can do 100 bricks. Before you know it, the house is built. But if you reduce your focus, your target, and your effort down, it's not as hard to achieve laying a couple of bricks. It's not as hard to lay a slab of concrete. It's not as hard if you're breaking it down. But yes, the finished product. And I think that's often where we go, oh, that's huge to be, a CEO of a multi-global organization doing all sorts of things. But then it's like, but you didn't just overnight become that. You've progressed up into that. Along the way, you've learnt lots, or you should have learnt lots. And so yes, my implore today, I guess, is to work out 10-year you, and then work out how you now can admire the 10-year you and work to becoming a reality in 10 years time. And then in 10 years time, even for you to journal it, and then be able to look back at today in 10 years time and go, wow, I have actually come quite a way. And I think we don't track our own progress. Some people around us go, oh, but you've achieved so much. And sometimes we go, yeah, but I don't feel it. And yet, really, we're cutting ourselves the slack. We're being too nice on ourselves, when really we have probably come a longer way than we actually realise. And it's no different to like parents with watching their kids grow versus uncles and aunts that come in at, once a year or once every 2 years or whatever, and they go, whoa, you've grown so much. Because again, they haven't seen the gradual. You see your gradual because you're a part of yourself every day, and you feel the burn versus that, wow, you've come so far. I saw you last year and this is where you're at, and now you're so much further ahead. I'll wrap it up with that. Have a fantastic day. Like and subscribe. I'll be back tomorrow 9 a.m. if it's Monday to Friday.